but we need your help. A gift to Cedars will make an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further with the available matching funds. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincolnday.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln kids today.
Alcohol has strained our relationship. Drinking too much can cause harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, we will save our relationship. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome in. It is On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. I'm Austin Norman. To my left, Erick Strickland. Stricky, I feel like it's been a while since you've been in studio. Had the one show on Thursday. We're just got to get back into the rhythm, man.
I know, man. I didn't even realize, and I keep forgetting that it was baseball that was going on. But it was good though. I don't know. It was kind of a nice little break. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
For some of us.
We was remote, baby. I was with you. I was with you, son.
You were.
I was in the building. We was out there.
Wait, were you remote or were you in the building?
No, I was.
Which one was it?
We were remote at the Capitol.
We were. That was a good time.
That was a good time. And I tore them insomnia boy.
I
tore them insomnia cookies up, bro. They didn't have a chance. I still got the one with the little stuff in it. I'm just waiting to get some ice cream. I'm gonna get that when I go home, so I'm gonna go in on that.
Did you end up getting your chair in the shade at Capitol after I left?
Well, after you pushed me into the sun half the time, it's unbelievable. Are you trying to say because I got melanation? I've just got built-in suntan lotion.
No, I know that you're a world traveler. You go to all these sunny places, sunny Orlando, sunny San Diego, sunny Dallas. You need that base layer, Stricky. Get it started. I'm just here to help. Looking out for you.
No, man.
Also, you did surprise me. I thought you were going to come from the same stairs that I did. You came the opposite way.
The other side. Shout out though. Shout out to DP. Shout out to Rico for just, who else they work with? Who do they work with for volleyball up there? The call they work. Man, I forgot my name. I just drew a blank.
Coach Saunders?
Coach Saunders. Yeah. Shout out to them. They did a wonderful job on the call. I want to say all year.
Mm-hmm.
I get to go back and catch some a little bit of it, and my gosh, they do a wonderful job of just.
You said do.
Pause. That wasn't good.
The call was not doo. The call was great.
Why are you now Cornholio?
You are the great Cornholio.
You Beavis now?
Well, I'm not Butthead.
And I'm definitely not that. Those two just walked out, basically. But yeah, we got a great show for you guys today, man. Thank you guys for joining us on the block. 2 to 4 every day is where you can find us. Not every day, not the weekends, but Monday to Friday.
Ought to be every day this week, right?
I think. Well,
should be.
Is it?
Yeah. Let's plan on shows every day this week.
You're talking Saturday and Sunday?
Every weekday this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like that. I'm going to be remote though Friday.
Oh, that's right. You're jet setting.
Yeah, I got to.
Yeah, look, imagine that.
Yeah.
We get back and Stricky's out again.
No, cap. Take your cap off. Man, it's good stuff today, man. The NBA, man, had some shocking news that happened. And we're going to have Coach Bird in.
Yeah, about 10 minutes or so, we'll get Coach Bird on the line. Speaking of that, let's go to the text line here, Strick. Augie says, hey, Stricky, I heard you were sitting next to my daughter and her fiance and his daughter. Bummed that I couldn't make it, but my wife said I would have just annoyed you and not let you watch the game. Thanks for the ticket, for the opportunity for us to attend.
Yeah, I did. I got a chance to meet them, man. Great people. Shout out Augie. Thank you for your continued support of us on the block. We appreciate you, and my best to you and your fam.
All right, I do have to put my cap back on, and they told me to take it off. This fan is blowing directly in my face.
It's a wave cap.
Ain't that the truth? Big thanks to Nebco, hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete. Apply today to start your career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. Nebco and Ready Mix Concrete offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. 2 places to go to visit that. It's nebcoinc.com or readymixconcrete.com. Stricky, over the weekend, so on Friday, Scotty Scheffler arrested on his way into Valhalla Golf Course. He stretched in his jail cell, posted whatever Bailey had to post, got released. He's out of there. Teed off an hour and a half late and still shot 5 under par. Wow.
That's crazy. Now, what were some of the background details on the arrest?
So Scotty's driving there, trying to get there in time to stretch, warm up, get a quick round in. He's there. There's a big accident before, a fatality crash. So Scotty has a marked car that says, hey, I'm a PGA player. I can get around, get through here. And some young police officer was wearing a neon vest that kind of blended into the non-security people. So Scotty didn't know who was talking to him. And Scotty says, hey, I'm just trying to get through to my round. He drives. Police officer's like holding on to the car, gets dragged a little bit, apparently, is what the story goes. He was unhurt, unharmed, but his pants were ripped. $80 pants were irreparable. So he, cuffs Scotty, takes him to the local jail.
Yeah.
Takes a mugshot with the orange jumpsuit
assault
and everything.
On an officer.
Let me see if I can find the charges.
Assault. It can't be resisting because, that's kind of crazy. It's unfortunate, but it's crazy. But
okay,
there's a lot of sensitivity out there, and I'm not mad at them because the stuff they have to deal with out there. And
okay, 4 charges: 2nd-degree assault of a police officer, 3rd-degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, and disregarding traffic signals from an officer directing traffic.
They could probably get those dropped.
They've already said they're not pursuing charges.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. It's unfortunate, but listen, it's crazy. It's crazy. These, listen, the strain and the stress that I think officers must endure. Here, here's my perspective. I think about it like this. I don't think you need to take away resources in that department. I think you need to do a better job of oversight, but I also think you need to also add into the budgets for more training. I think that's part of where some of the issues exist, is because there's just it's a training thing. You know what I mean? Like some of the best and some of the most elite of our military groups are some of the most advancedly trained. Like
train 95% of the time.
You know what I mean?
Execute 5%.
But it's no different than playing a sport. This is how it kind of infiltrates itself into all types of life, because at the same time, this is the same thing you see with why some of the best in the NBA right now happen to be of foreign descent.
All training.
More training. So the game becomes easier because everything that you've done, you've seen. Like
time and time again.
Like real talk. So we have stars in the building. One of the super elite star, I'm not gonna call name, but we have an elite track star in here. And we're not gonna say who, but I'm just gonna explain it this way. If you're struggling in a specific area and your times are not being met, or whatever, your distances are not being met, it could be a number of things. It could be your approach. It could be flexibility. It could be starts. There's so many things that can incorporate. It could be drive phase. It could be you're coming out too high. There's so many things. You have to practice that in order for you to hit marks and bring them down. this is why I say what I say. They need more training because, and I'm talking heightened de-escalate. I mean, actually in there and let's get to it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think they kind of, everybody becomes book smart. That's real talk with universities today.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of students in here book smart. They give you an assignment, you study it, you look it up, you get cliff notes, you do all of that. Your book, but you get out in the world.
You've mentioned that with officiating, right? Reffing the gray, right? The black and white is the easiest part to learn, but you don't learn the gray unless you're in the heat of the moment.
Facts. And that's what you need. You need those intense moments. This is what goes back to what we talk about of how when you're practicing against each other, you're doing spring game, there's only so much you can get out of that, right? Because you're not going to be able to duplicate, like, say, for instance, you're playing Allen Iverson. There's nobody probably on your team that can duplicate Allen Iverson.
Because no one signed me.
So what you need is you need more tape. You need things to tip you off. This is why Deion Sanders was so good at the cornerback position. He was looking for things, tips, hips,
tells,
just the way that you move, or if you're giving, tells, if you're giving off something. That's what I think we need more of. And I think it's across the board. I mean, I know I brought it in a different way, but this attributes to all sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of all sports, let's take a break. Let's talk to Coach Bird Kuhn of the Omaha Supernovas, get her thoughts on the semifinal match and then the championship match for $1 million. Her year in Omaha.
Say
right?
what?
Match for
$1 million?
$1 million. Wow.
Won
by the
Somebody
Supernovas.
got paid.
Everyone got paid. They split that milli.
Facts.
Let's talk to Coach Kuhn, and then we'll get into the NBA before a Husker recruiting update.
I'm a silent assistant.
Is that so? You getting a ring?
I need it.
Stricky says it goes right here. We'll take a break. Coach Bird Kuhn of the Supernovas on the other side.
The Nebraska Neurosurgery Group, led by Dr. Daniel Tomes and Dr. Benjamin Bigseman, is committed to providing the best care for all of your neurosurgery needs, like minimally invasive spine procedures, peripheral nerve release, brain surgery, including tumor removal and brain injury management, and more. The Nebraska Neurosurgery Group has outreach clinics throughout Nebraska and northern Kansas. Schedule your appointment with the region's top neurosurgeons at 402-904-4729. At the Nebraska Neurosurgery Group in Lincoln on South 27th Street. Or check out the website, nebraskaneurosurgery.net, for a full list of services and outreach clinics.
Far too many kids in our community face extreme challenges due to homelessness, abuse, and neglect. Despite the troubles these kids face, we believe in them. Believe in giving them the safety and stability they deserve. Your gift on Give to Lincoln Day will help us provide services to meet kids where they're at, while also showing them how far they can go. Please make your gift to Cedars on Give to Lincoln Day.
Tune in every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. for the Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Don't miss the opportunity to learn about the Malone Community Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln and the surrounding area. It's the Malone Radio Show with Executive Director John Goodwin and Sports Director Mike Hunter. Every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Spring is here, and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation Team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at gainatrucking.com.
I'm Ryan Osted. Golf is great because it can be whatever you want it to be. If you want to go out and have a competitive 18 holes, you can make it that. If you want to go out and have a scramble and just have the time of your life, if you want to have a charity golf tournament to raise money for some great cause, you can make it that. It is flexible to be whatever you need it to be at that particular moment in your life. And I've needed golf to be different things at different points in my life. And I'm certainly thankful that I was able to learn the game as a kid and continue to play it now as an adult.
Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We got Rico in the back efforting Coach Bird. We'll get her on here when Rico gets through to her. I'm Austin Norman. Erick Strickland joins me during On the Block, brought to you by Nebco. Visit nebcoinc.com today to learn how to start your new career. A couple things from the text line here, Strick. Let's start with this. 9324 says, it's hard to emulate Allen Iverson because he doesn't show up to practice. He's the franchise player.
Wow. Now, I don't know if that's the case. I think I think in some instances that that those words were taken out of context, right? Because here's what he's saying. He's saying he doesn't practice because if you talk to some of his teammates, some of them said he's one of the hardest working guys that's there. So I would say this. I think for Allen Iverson, one of the things that he actually does is he was talking about, you're talking more about practice as opposed to the success of the game. So I think it was a little something taken out of context.
Let's go to our VIP line, brought to you by Aloe Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Welcome in head coach of the Omaha Supernovas, Laura Bird Kuhn. Coach, first of all, thanks for taking time to join the show. Last time I talked to you, I sprung the LeBron MJ conversation on you with Jay Foreman, but don't worry. Erick Strickland is in here with me today. He's Team MJ with you. This is a safe space today.
Yes. Good work, guys. I actually just put my Jordans on to wear for the rest of the day, so I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Nice. Listen. Woo. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Coach Bird got a little frog. Coach Bird, the team, you assimilated this team. You've watched them come together. You've had some ups and downs. Starts that probably were a little bit rocky, but to watch this team come together throughout this whole process, what was part of that? And not only your leadership, but who in there was a leader in helping to keep things stabilized throughout this whole process that you guys went through before winning the championship?
Throughout the season, I mean, it was like all of the teams in the league. It was the first season, and a lot of these players hadn't played together, and it always takes time, especially in volleyball. It's such a chemistry sport. And so just all of them getting to know each other, and really we're all in the grind. But as you can see the level of volleyball rise throughout the league, these matches towards the end of the season were all very high level. But for our team in particular, our veterans and our just mesh of the young with the older players, their personalities and their leadership kind of evolved. I would say our veterans, really the composure at the end of the season came from them, I would say. And we kind of settled into a lineup. So I think all of those things and the dynamics kind of fell into place towards the end for us, those last 2 to 3 weeks. But our two setters were studs. I think it was out in San Diego. I think we lost in 5 out there after we'd beat them here in 5. And I both of them. And I just started talking to them about how they were our two leaders, and we'd gone back and forth with them. But I would say the stability and the core of our leadership came from them, because at any point, obviously, they're the quarterbacks. They're the ones on the court. And the way they displayed how to be great teammates and be selfless and just know their role when they were called upon to lead and be either starters or on the bench, and how they handled that dynamic together, it was seamless. And that's honestly, I think, to the core of where our leadership started for this team.
Very nice. One other thing, and this is Erick Strickland, by the way, and once again, we have Laura Bird Kuhn, coach of the Omaha Supernovas, here on the LO VIP line. So when you consider the accomplishments of this year, the travel arrangements, how things were put together, I think they did a tremendous job, and congratulations on the $1 million, by the way. But on top of that,
thank you.
On top of that, now you're looking at expansion. Is expansion something that you would say you just as an observation, not necessarily in your capacity, just as a coach, but from do you feel that everything is in line? Because what normally happens is everybody likes to work out the kinks, whether it be in a business before you find yourself expanding or going somewhere else. You kind of want to work out the kinks and all the issues and all the bugs, right? Do you feel that an expansion coming next year is something that's going to be great for the league? Or would you have liked to seen some things more like tidied up maybe, or did everything run as according to your plans? You saw it.
I think that there's always going to be room for improvement. There's a lot of logistics and moving pieces, no matter if we're expanding or just continuing with the same amount of teams. Each franchise will have its own ownership, so to that point, I feel like no matter when you expand, there's going to be challenges and things you have to balance out. But luckily, the ownership groups, and I know just us as coaches and people that work within the organization, we're all pretty tight-knit, and so we want to help each other out. That's the one reason why I wanted to be on the ground level of my first year of this, because I want to help that expansion. I want to help the new franchises. I want to help all of these franchises so that we can be successful as a league. So I think expansion is what it is. It's going to help our schedule out, I believe, and now we can be ahead of things and we know what works, what doesn't work. And hopefully our competition committee can put a good schedule together with 10 teams. But I know there's going to be a lot of things happening in the next month or so, next couple of weeks, before some of those logistics get worked out.
We'll keep looking forward to that. But, Coach, let's dive into the volleyball part of it a little bit. Semifinals match, San Diego. You guys go down 2-0 on your home court. In the huddle, what's the vibe? What are you saying? What are those leaders saying down 2-0?
Honestly, it was a gut punch. And I think they were all very composed but urgent with their communication. There was a different feeling that day. I think everyone could feel it with the Atlanta Grand Rapids match before ours, and it went 5, and Grand Rapids beating Atlanta. There was a different dynamic and a different feeling to those matches. And I feel like at one point when we switched sides, I just looked at them and I said, we need to just clean slate it. Like, we're 0-0. There's a lot of volleyball left, and you got to go into practice mode, to start grind mode, where we just are in drills where you just earn points and just earn momentum back. And that was kind of the mindset. And then they just rallied and obviously took over and took that momentum back, 25-8 in the fourth set. And from that point, I think to their core, they just knew how they needed to compete as a team.
You mentioned that 25-8 fourth set. You've seen plenty of high-level volleyball. Have you ever seen volleyball at that level?
I mean, at the college level, obviously this season we haven't seen that in any of the matches. I think there's been like 25-12 and so, but that was crazy. Our serving, but we say it's the first contact and serving sets the tone. And I think we had 17 points that were, we call it point scoring when you're serving. And that's crazy. That's a crazy amount to have earned those points. We really, it was a crazy stat, but I'm proud of them because they set the tone, just like we always say, with the aggressive serving and putting pressure on the other team. Speaking of a tone setter, server of the year, right? Betty, what makes her serve so hard to defend? It is like a hybrid. So it's like a top and a float, and it's just the pace she puts on the ball. Obviously, her hand on ball is one of the most natural, and it's a crazy serve because she can move the ball. Like it's spinning, but it just depends on how she hits it and where she's actually aiming. And she doesn't always aim, but I think it's more of just how she is contacting it. It's her hand on ball. I mean, we see it when she stays on the ground and just snaps the ball over the net. Sometimes she just gets kills without even jumping. But it's just, she's been playing for so long. It's her experience. It's the natural hand on ball contact that she has. And so it's a combination of all of those things. And she's just one of the smartest volleyball players. She knows how to find her rhythm and she locks in. She was focused and she went on a couple of runs for us in that set. Let's look at the championship match. Then you mentioned the different energy in the arena during the semifinals. Take us inside the locker room before the match for $1 million. That's huge money. You're on your home court. What was the environment, the energy like inside the locker room before the championship game? I feel like both matches our team was dialed in, but there was a different feeling that day because they had kind of proved to themselves and each other that they could that next level of focus, in the match on Wednesday night. So I don't think it was as like a hype. Everyone seemed more on a common ground of like locked in focus and the energy. It was just sporadic kind of Wednesday night. Some people were hyped. Some people were probably a little nervous, but Saturday it was like a very consistent vibe in the locker room. And I just think they were
loser.
Knew they needed to earn the finish. I would say I try to be as consistent as possible. So my message was the same thing. We said it all year. We have everything we need right here in the gym. We can adapt and adjust to anything. We will communicate and look at each other in the eyes. If you need to adjust something, if the game plan needs to change, then we will get that. But it was the same message, just being consistent in how we'd handled each match before that. Then the championship match, you end up sweeping. What was the celebration like? Do you remember anything from the aftermath on the court? It was just funny. I think all of us, because it was such like a high level of dialed in focus. I honestly couldn't believe they missed the last serve. I was kind of mad, but Grand Rapids is a great team. And so those last two sets were tight. So it was this balance of this focus and locked into, did that really happen? Is it over? I think all of us were just kind of super pumped for each other, but just the resilience. So that's all I could keep thinking and how proud I was of them for just the high level focus and just handling the things they did this week. Being at home, it was just special to be home, honestly, and be in front of the Omaha crowd and our community of people that has supported us since day one. Like that was just very cool to have all our family and friends there. A lot of attendance records, 12,000, a couple times over 10,000 for the championship match. Coming to Omaha, was there anything that surprised you about Omaha, the city, the fans, when you got here to where you are now? I think we all knew it was like Nebraska was a volleyball, like the epicenter, but the genuine support and the caring about us, like any event we went to in the community. And I think one of the best memories, we were coming back from Vegas, that last trip to Vegas, and we had a handful of fans that were at our match on the flight back with us, and they were like so pumped that we were on the flight. They had their Supernovas gear on. And so I think the buy-in, this community embraced us from that first match. It was a weeknight, just like our semifinal Wednesday night goes 5. We were like there till midnight again, but they were here. They were here with us and all in with us before they ever saw us play our first match. And we could feel that through the whole season. And that was pretty cool. The match for $1 million goes to the Supernovas. Now the attention turns to the offseason. What does that look like for you? First, full offseason after a season.
in the Pro Volleyball Federation. What's kind of the structure of the offseason for you and your team?
That's similar to our season. We're kind of piecing through that. There's going to be a lot of moving pieces. I personally travel a lot, and we'll be on the phone a ton. Obviously, building our roster and the free agency is a little different for us, just with the league and adding the new teams. But we have the core group coming back, so that's good and exciting. But kind of working within the league with the other head coaches, I'm sure we'll do a ton of Zooms. We'll do some meetings, but really just working to stay engaged with our community here. Like, I know we're going to do camps and clinics. We'll get out and just be around. But it's really going to be setting ourselves up, probably keeping some of our athletes in market to do some of those engagement activities and be training. And they'll go play in Phoenix for AU. I know the majority of them will again. So there'll be a lot of moving pieces, but we'll all stay kind of connected and engaged with each other.
Hey, Coach, being that I played in the NBA and went through a couple of expansions, and I know they would leave a couple of players available. So you had to kind of say, okay, these players are untouchable. You can't pick these, but you have. Is that kind of how how is y'all's expansion kind of working? Do you have to leave a couple exposed? How long at this particular time in the early stages are you able to sign your players to? What's the longest term that you can sign? Is it 1-year deals? Like, how does that work right now in the early
It's kind of wide open. We're allowed to sign, I think, for any amount of years. I think 2 years is usually the deal right now. That's been the longest one, just contract-wise. But the June 1st is when we can start talking to any of the players in the PVF. But we can talk to international players and other players that are playing overseas and maybe coming home right now. We've been able to talk to them. It's really, the restrictions are on the other players outside of our organization that are with the PVF. We can start talking to them June 1st, and really no one is untouchable. So it really comes down to them and negotiating and, what's being offered at each organization based on the needs.
Coach Laura Bird-Kuhn with us here on our Aloe Fiber VIP line. Coach, I want this to sink in for you. Nebraska didn't have a pro sports team. You, your coaching staff, your players have made the state of Nebraska 1 for 1 in seasons and in championships. That is awesome. Congratulations on, the season, not just making it through, but thriving. Congratulations on winning the championship. Thanks for all your time spent with us here on 93.7 The Ticket this season too.
Well, I appreciate you guys. It's been so awesome being connected with you, even though you guys are over in Lincoln and I don't get to come there in person often. It's been so cool to have everyone along on this journey with us.
Coach, enjoy your travels this offseason. Hope we can catch up soon.
Awesome. You guys have a good one.
Coach Laura Bird-Kuhn of the Omaha Supernovas with us on our VIP line, brought to you by Aloe Fiber, where they understand what, Stricky?
The importance of exceptional service with local heart.
That they do. Appreciate Coach Bird. Great interview. Appreciate her time there. Thanks to Rico getting that set up. Rico knows everyone now. Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, he's the man.
He sure is. Always has been, always will be.
Yeah.
Let's take a break.
Except when he's on,
Except when he's talking about the Knicks.
Except when he's on the happy hour.
Except when he doesn't give Strick a seat. There's lots of reasons.
That part, plenty of reasons.
Rico's shaking his head. That's how he knows it's true. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Wrap up hour 1 of On the Block after this.
Spring is here, and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
By now, most of you know how important the Honda of Lincoln sales and service team are to the Lincoln market. Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear from Honda of Lincoln to tell you about the great news they just received. Andy, please tell us all about it.
Each year, the Lincoln Journal-Star has an award program called the Lincoln Choice Award, where the customers in Lincoln get to choose the best places to do business. Great pleasure I get to announce that Honda of Lincoln has won the award for buying new cars, used cars, automotive repair, and even oil changes.
That is amazing, Andy. Any more good news?
Yes, there is, Charlie. We now have more than 100 new Hondas in stock, with hundreds on the way, and a huge selection of all makes and models on our pre-owned lot.
Incredible. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Play ball! Ready to unleash the fun with Salt Dogs Baseball? Join us at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed games running through August. Stay ahead of the game by visiting saltdogs.com for updates on exciting promotions, giveaways, and events happening each week. Experience a change-up from your typical family night, or make it a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers.
Strike three, you're out.
Don't miss the fun happening all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Harvey Perlman was there.
Hey, Harvey's there.
Harvey sidled up to me and said, Sipple, a little out of context. So I was driving back. I called Pelini and I told him what Harvey said. He goes, Sipple, you should have told him anytime he's not near a sewer, he's out of context.
Whoa! Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Old school with DP and J.
Very small percentage of players, coaches, administrators thinking like, I'm planting my flag here. Nick Saban's run probably won't happen. It takes a very unique person and personality to be comfortable where you are, be strong enough to push to get what you need, and then also be very strong enough in a player's standpoint to advocate for yourself at the right time.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up hour one of On the Block, we'll turn our attention to the NBA for a couple segments here before Husker football recruiting update with Bryan Munson. Stricky, the defending champs out. There will be no repeat in the NBA as the Minnesota Timberwolves go on the road and they win Game 7 in Denver despite being down 20 points. Wow. First of all, what a comeback by Minnesota. But if you're Denver, you weren't the same team this year. You didn't operate the same, never reached the same levels of consistency. What's next for Denver?
I mean, look, Jamal came out, gave him everything he had in the first half, went cold, didn't really get that same thing out of Aaron Gordon.
Porter Jr. was big.
Jokic played every minute but one. I mean, so you kind of halfway wore him out. Porter Jr. was A-okay.
He was
shaky. Braun gave you a little bit of something. You know what I mean? So they gave you enough to win. They just weren't able to sustain it. And what was beautiful about Minnesota is everything was so timely because Ant struggled. I mean, he started off like 1 for 8.
Mm-hmm.
He got 2 on a layup late in the second half or late in the first half, going into the second. But what he was doing is he didn't quit. He continued to distribute. He got deep. He found guys. Then you got timely buckets because Conley was struggling, but he hit a couple of timely threes. Cat gets and then
the
Naz
Gobert
Reid.
fade away.
Yeah,
All
it was time. And then Naz Reid been sitting all day. That's not even a coach. Finch didn't have to do a doggone thing. Cat getting into foul trouble led to that, but he comes in and he ends up being an X factor that sealed the day for Minnesota. So shout out to them. I like it that there's a little bit of not trickery, but where you didn't know it was going to happen. Where you kind of could see that Game 7 there, it's going to outside barring injuries, you get to see that there's so many things. This is why I'm so critical of the bubble. These things add up. Travel, getting there, being there, mental, like the things that happen when you have to do that. That's why I'm so critical. Because now Indiana gets through by way a lot of injuries,
just attrition. Yeah,
it's not. I mean, it's a bad luck to the draw sometimes, but shout out to them. They had enough. And then guess what's going to spark though? This is the part that I hate. Oh, load management. We need better. We wouldn't have these kind of injuries. Man, get out of here with that foolishness. Like, you can't really tell me that. Bad equipment, bad, all kinds of bad, the travel has been great. That's never been a problem. You've got all
weight
these
rooms
guys.
recovery should be better.
Yeah, all of that's better. I mean, you have cryo, you have IV, you have all types of nutritional stuff that we never really had. But yet Stockton was playing 80-some games, Jordan, all these guys, Magic, these guys are playing a lot of games without load management. And I'm telling you, the schedule was built way different compared to now. Like, you hear people complaining about back-to-backs. What? Sometimes in a week, we'd have like 2 of them minimum. 2 or sometimes 3. I think one time we had to pay. I remember one time playing 5 and 7 with travel.
Right. And those aren't all at home.
Boom, back to back. And this was a road one. Travel, get there late, light practice, play the next day, travel, get there late, play the next or practice lightly, maybe shoot or wait, play another back to back. Yeah, man. Like,
travel,
out,
day off.
Yeah.
Play,
yeah,
travel, play.
Watch out. Y'all bugging.
How about this question, Strick? For the next 4 years, would you rather be Denver or Oklahoma City?
I would rather be Oklahoma City right now. Denver next. But Oklahoma City has so many resources right now. Picks, pick swaps, trades. They can add to their roster without having to do anything crazy. They can go up and down the mock board, figure out what diamonds we can find, who we can take a chance on, because we've got a good solid core. The area in which they need now is front court help. You're looking at what was sustained in Dallas by way of front court help. They were able to make it to the Western Conference Finals because of a big trade that they made, getting Gaffords, drafting of Lively, and also an addition of PJ Washington.
Yeah.
That's actually front court action because PJ is almost 6'9", 6'.
Yeah, he's
6'9".
listed 6'7", but I think he's closer to 6'8", 6'9". Yeah.
Right? So you've got that. They've got great length. But then on the other side, you're looking at Minnesota. They got Cat. They got Gobert. But
McDaniels,
Reed. Right. That's 4. If you're OKC, you're still in trouble because you're looking to your right and you're looking to your left, and on both sides is trouble because you still got to deal with Jokic and Gordon, and then on the so while teams got bigger, better, stronger, faster, or whatever, they got to do that. So this is where their attack has to be. Do they go out and get like a Donovan Clingan? Or do they go? Probably not going to be high enough to do it, but they've got so many resources. It depends on what you want at this point is how they can go.
This is why I'm not sure Sam Presti is the GM for the moment. If I'm Oklahoma City, I'm looking at bringing in an advisor or an assistant GM that has made a trade for a big name player. If that's what Oklahoma City wants to do, right? Presti's been so good.
Then tell me who's out there. Go ahead.
That's what I don't know. But Presti has been so good at tear down, rebuild, accumulate.
Right.
We haven't seen Presti consolidate.
A good point.
I don't know if there's someone
who's
in that
out there.
That's what I don't know. I don't know the names, but if I'm Sam Presti, I trust my own abilities. But if I'm the owner, it's, hey, you've done a lot of this accumulate. Can we get Danny Ainge to come as an advisor? Can we, I don't know, get an assistant GM somewhere else, give him a little bit of a title bump and pay bump to come over here? Someone that has that experience in making a big trade, because they have plenty to work with. I just haven't seen Presti do it yet.
So if I'm saying, just looking at this team, I know we don't know exactly, we could have gone and looked at all the free agents that are coming out. I'm saying, looking across the board, I don't care if it's a starter, who would be a good plug and place, barring no issues and no problem, that based on what you saw? I got an idea and I can tell you. You want me to tell you first or you want to tell me?
Bam Adebayo.
Okay. I was going to go a little bit different. I'm looking at maybe someone like Jared Allen.
Okay, similar thought.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think Bam probably they don't need a Bam tied up with a Holmgren. I don't think that does. I think you need a bigger physical presence that does a lot of that dirty work, but gives you that Adams type of feel.
You need a Naz Reid.
Yes. And so I think he's probably the person that would feel, because he can get your buckets. He knows where to be. He knows where to put himself with that type of team, with Shea and that, and with all the things that they can do as a team. I like that kind of a flow.
Tommy on the text line. Strick had 4 games a week and a bag of airplane peanuts for his sports medicine.
Yeah, what?
You had 4 games a week and a bag of airplane peanuts was your sports medicine.
Man, we didn't even have, well, now listen, we actually, depending on what organization you play for, we actually had good food on the plane. Like sometimes they would order some good stuff. Like sometimes it'd be that abud. Sometimes. But Knicks always had pretty good spreads. After Mark Cuban took over Dallas, we started getting him. It was shaky. It was shaky.
Another shaky, and they would have been out of here.
Listen, home meals at the Garden. Come on, man.
Different?
Man, no, man. You come on.
With the MSG or TD?
MSG. It was like spaghetti and hard bread. I'm like, come on, man. Now I know y'all got that long paperwork. Now, come on, man. Y'all doing it like that. It was not good look.
Dang.
Now you can go out and eat afterwards, and then the mafiosos would
come up to you. Hey,
come in, Strickland. See, what are you thinking? Good game last night. You know, that would be pretty cool when you see that happen.
Stricky, you played for 3 of the 4 teams left standing in the NBA right now. I want your rankings of their food, and then we'll talk about each of these teams on the floor when we get back to hour 2 of On the Block.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
How do people feel about getting Big Fitness Energy at Planet Fitness for $1 down and $10 a month? They feel as thrilled as a kid the first summer they're tall enough to ride the roller coaster! That's right. When you join Planet Fitness right now, you'll get access to tons of equipment and free fitness training in a clean and spacious club. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today for that all-day energy. Download the free Planet Fitness app and join today for $1 down, $10 a month.
Deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years, and they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The end of the school year is drawing near, which means graduation parties are coming soon. Are you prepared for that if you're hosting? Fierce Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate graduations and to close out a great school year. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you throw a party without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fuhrer's Cheese Spread. No graduation party is complete without it.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
There are over 1,000 kids in Cedars care today. We're here to ensure that each of them receives safety and stability they deserve. But we need your help. A gift to Cedars will make an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further with the available matching funds. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincolnday.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln kids today.
Cover more acres with a pre-owned sprayer or planter from Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer. We offer one of the area's largest selections of used sprayers, applicators, planters, and seeders. Through the month of May, take advantage of fixed-rate financing as low as 4.75% for up to 60 months or an 8-month interest waiver. Visit your local Landmark Implement location or visit our complete sprayer and seeding inventory online at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
1 hour left of On the Block here on a Monday. I'm Austin Norman. Erick Strickland to my left. Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet. Played for 3 of the 4 teams remaining here in the NBA Conference Finals. We'll get to that momentarily. Give us your picks. Who's advancing to the NBA Finals? 402-464-5685. Give us your matchup predictions. We'll have a couple days between games. Then we'll get those jumping off. Hey, do want to let you know as well, this afternoon, old school, 4 to 6, we are at The Complex. Brand new boxing facility where Champions Fun Center used to be, 15th and Cornhusker essentially 15th and Yolanda. Pop over, say hi. Jay Foreman is down there getting ready. I'll join Jay here after On the Block. But Stricky, I did ask you, of the 3 organizations that you played for that are left, Boston, Indiana, and Dallas, rank the food 1, 2, 3. Dallas post-Cuban sounded like it was pretty good.
Yeah, and it only got better. I mean, like, with the way it is in Dallas now, which is very upsetting sometimes when I think about it, like, literally, you come out of practice and you can get a meal. Like, they've got nutritionists on site now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, they would cater food and bring stuff in from certain people that we did business with, possibly. But listen, they got like chefs on site. Like, they can mix you up some. They'll make you up some shake smoothies. They got all shaky. So I would say that was probably on point. Next, I would say probably Boston and then Indiana. Like, Boston on the road, everything in Boston, I think, was top of the line. Like, where we stayed, you know, our pre-games, all that stuff was definitely top of the line. It was fun in Dallas. Let me just say that, because Coach Don Nelson was so dope sometimes, and people wondered like how our record was. Like, I think second half we were like 38 and, you know, we're tied with the Lakers the second half, like best record.
Like those Lakers.
With Shaq and that.
Kobe, yeah.
But what Don Nelson would do, man, is there were certain cities that he didn't want to stay in. So, like in Utah, he was ready to get that. Cleveland, get the heck. Like, we would literally play the game. It didn't matter where we were going next. We out. Like, if we're
Don's out, so we're out.
If we're in Oakland playing Golden State or something, he's like, we stay. Like, we would get done with shoot-arounds or heading back to the hotel, and Don would stop at like his favorite bar, and he'd be like, drop me off. He would get out.
Like the team bus?
The team bus. We would drive by the spot. He would get off the bus and go to his spot. So there were coaches like that. There were certain coaches that didn't like certain places, and sometimes they correlated to like how we felt. Like, if we had a game and there was an extra day off, we do not want to stay in Utah. Like, no.
Give us that back to back.
Okay, like like the Sacramento, we didn't want to stay. Even Portland, Seattle, shaky but cool.
Okay.
We always would stay in LA. All the coaches wanted to stay. Phoenix, Charlotte, depending, but most of the coaches, good.
Vancouver,
DC. Vancouver, shaky. But when I was with Dallas, it was cool because Steve Nash was on the team.
Ah, right.
So he was from there. So, they would give a little extra. And sometimes Steve would throw a little event for the team afterwards and stuff. So, like, if we played in Phoenix, Cez Ceballos would do something where we would all get together and have a little event. But Atlanta was one. Orlando depends. Shaky. Miami for sure. Everybody wanted to stay. Like, after the game in Miami, you staying. Like, it don't matter. Like, it's definitely a stay.
Memphis?
New Orleans was cool. They wouldn't be mad about staying.
Houston?
Memphis, no, shaky, out. Houston, for sure.
St.
Now,
Ann?
when we're in Dallas, no. But, Indiana, Boston, Dallas is like, it's less than an hour, my boy. So, OKC, we would want to get home. OKC.
At the very tail end? Was OKC around?
Yeah. OKC was Seattle when I was in Dallas.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Only in Dallas, but
right.
They came right. I want to say, when did OKC get?
Well, Durant was drafted in what, 07?
Was it 07?
Yeah, he had the Sonics jersey.
Yeah. So it had to be just before 10.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's look at the Eastern Conference here first. Let's start with Boston. Best record in the NBA, best net rating in the NBA. As you look at the Celtics here in the Eastern Conference Finals, what's the biggest strength of their roster? What's their biggest advantage over Indiana? And what's one question you have about the Celtics?
Okay. I think experience across the board.
Mm-hmm.
I think front court wise, they're fine. I will say that Indiana is super athletic. So, Obi Toppin match up with like a Jason Tatum. Those are going to be good because they're both long, physical. But I just think Boston has an experience in this, and I think it's going to depend on how they allow the game to be played. If they allow the game to be played in a physical manner, Indiana might have a chance. If they don't, then I think Boston ultimately will secure it. I think depth-wise, I think there are stretch abilities. I will say that I still think they would love to have Porzingis. And I think he's in it. The further along they go, the more trouble I think it becomes for them without Porzingis.
Not trusting Al Horford, or is he just not ceiling-wise?
I just think you've seen that before. Everybody's going to know how to scout that rotation, that group. I mean, even the additions with, Peyton Pritchard and those, and even with White, what I'm saying? You know what that group looks like.
More important guard for Boston this series, Drew Holiday or Derek White?
I think White 3, like the third option, if no Porzingis.
Yeah.
And if Drew can give you those, cherry on top, whipped cream on top, the nice icing, if he can give you that, then you good. I think you got something working.
Okay, Indiana. Biggest advantage they have over Boston. What's your biggest question about them?
I personally think if Siakam continues to play at an all-star level, and then you get stretch abilities out of big fella
Turner,
Miles Turner. If you get that, Halliburton just do what he do, continue to put pressure on them. I think, like I said, they need to take advantage of rebound and fast break opportunities. So I think they want to do that, push the pace, push the tempo, because you want to wear the legs of Al Horford and the likes of it. Without no Porzingis and no depth. What's going on with Big Williams? Williams at third.
Time Lord?
Huh?
Robert Williams from Boston. Let's see.
Yeah, what's happening with him? That's going to be a big case, I think, too.
He's with Portland.
Oh, they traded him?
Yes, he gone.
Oh, they're in trouble.
I think it's part of how they got Porzingis.
Oh, they're in trouble. Without him?
He gone.
Yeah, they're in trouble. I think in a 7-game series, if it's knockdown, drag out, I think Boston could be in trouble.
I'm with you on that. Boston won the season series with Indiana 3-2. They played 5 times because of the in-season tournament. That's where that 5th game against them came from. Strick, Boston has been the best team in the NBA all year, right? They have been really 64 wins to 18 losses, double-digit positive net rating. Those are all really good signs. Like, Boston is an all-time level championship contender, but it feels like they still take nights off. And we saw it when New York got banged up, had to take a little bit of a night off. Hey, guess what? Here comes Indiana. The other thing Indiana does really well is create open shots. I think 31% of all the shots they create are wide open.
Yeah.
That's hard to do in the NBA. What concerns me about Boston, where I think Indiana can take advantage, is that Indiana plays so fast, puts up so many shots, and a lot of them are threes. Boston's been a jump shooting team. They're pretty good at it. That's what Indiana lives on. We might see some games down in the 90s because neither team can hit the broadside of the barn, but Indiana also might win a game like 130-120 and scare Boston just because they're that high octane offensively.
That's a fact. That's what I was saying. The tempo.
Mm-hmm.
I think the tempo is an important piece for Indiana, especially in a 7 game. Just they're super athletic like that. Him, Siakam, Toppin, even Miles. Miles is very capable running big. Run them. Because you don't want Tatum and them guys to be just settled, because if they're settled in their groove and in their mojo, I think having the matchups that they have, even with Siakam on Green, I mean, not Green,
Brown.
but Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like their matchup. I think obviously they're going to throw White, probably put White or Drew. Now, I like it on the other side from the guards' perspective. You know what I'm saying? I like what they're able to throw at them, Boston, as far as, keeping, containing, and the work that those guys are going to do on the defensive side with Holiday and as well as White. Both good defenders.
TJ McConnell's going to be annoying for Boston. Watch out for him. All right, let's move to the West, Strick. Dallas and Minnesota. Before you go all Dallas homer on us, just know if Minnesota wins, it's not some NBA conspiracy to make Ant the face of the NBA. It's not anti-Luka, who did get a really bad whistle in Game 6 and 7. Luka got an atrocious whistle. Let's start with your Mavs. Is Luka their biggest strength? Is it the front court? What's the Mavs' biggest advantage in this series?
Their biggest advantage is Luka's going to be Luka. Their biggest advantage is you can get 40 to 50 plus out of him and Kyrie alone. Right?
Almost take it to the bank.
You can get, I mean, if Kyrie wants to.
Kyrie was really good last series, Stricky.
He's disciplined, man. He's been disciplined. And I'm telling you, they figured it out. He's figured out when I need to allow Luka to just be Luka. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be ready. But he's also figured out, okay, I need to take over. Like, they figured out this mojo thing between them. PJ's been solid for them, but it can be Hardaway one night. Then you've got the pick, roll, and the dunk aspects of Gafford and Lively. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I'm not discrediting everybody. I think across the board,
Green
from a given, it can be him. That's what I'm saying. It can be any one of those guys at any moment in time, and that's what's good about what they do is they actually are making pretty good adjustments in game to help themselves and minimize. I just think it's going to come down to matchups, and where the matchups lay. I like the matchups across the board. I like this matchup, and I like this series. That the West Coast, the finals. I like that.
Minnesota won.
I actually like that matchup better than if it would have been
OKC or Denver. Denver.
Yeah, for Dallas.
Right. Minnesota won the season series 3-1, but it was a pretty tight series, all things considered. My biggest question for Dallas, Strick, is how healthy is Luka? He looked a little slow, looked a little hobbled the first couple games. Hopefully for Dallas, he's over it, but Minnesota's going to beat you up, man. They're tough. They're going to try to bump and grind Luka for as long as it takes, as many games as it takes. I'm curious to see how that knee holds up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And it looks like Cat got bumped a couple times, knee to knee, got a little hyperextension. One, after the adrenaline wears off, how's that going to feel? But for Minnesota to have done it without Ant going buck wild, but yet it just shows a maturity level that you have to be impressed with. He didn't get down because the way you could hear it, you could hear him on mic'd up. You can hear the way he was still kind of talking with his teammates and, hey, look, it ain't really going for me tonight, but if they're going to continue to double me, I'm going to make the move, I'm going to make the play, and I'm going to find you. I need you to hit that. That's good leadership qualities. Then you saw whose team it really is in a post-game interview where they were asking Cat some questions and they were talking about him, and Ant basically looks at Cat and says, "Stop effing fouling."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hear that.
Stop.
Yeah.
Fouling.
Yeah. That shows you, that it is him. He's him.
Is Anthony Edwards Minnesota's biggest advantage in this series?
Yeah, because I don't know matchup wise.
You can't really put Kyrie on him for that long.
I don't know matchup wise. Like, Kyrie did a tremendous job because he was really good on Shea.
Yeah. Hardaway won't be ready for it.
I just don't. I don't think.
I got it. Put Derek Lively on him.
No,
that man was plus 71. Strick. Plus 71.
Like, I don't think people understand how quick Anthony Edwards steps are.
Which is
his hesitation and goes, and his crossing goes. Like
6'5", 240 shouldn't move like that.
No, man. No, it looks so effortless too. Like with Paul, like for example, I played with Paul and with Paul Pierce. It was like he looked slow, but even his first step, even though it was going to beat you, it still looked slow. Anthony looks like a freaking pocket rocket.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got the jets, like the Roadrunner. You seen the Roadrunner when he kind of pull up on you? Yeah. That's kind of how it is. He's shuffling and he's by you classic.
That means Dallas is Wile E. Coyote, and I don't like that for them.
No, they can't. They got to be better than that. That's for sure.
No Acme products, Dallas. None.
No. There'd be a lot of blowing up. Yosemite, what is his name? Yosemite Sam? What is his name?
He was the little sheriff saloon guy with the big red beard. Yeah. You're gonna need that.
Gosh,
we just need a show where we just sit back and watch Looney Tunes.
Man, that's classic, man. Looney Tunes will never go. Yeah, it's always forever embraced in my heart.
Amen.
Yeah.
Same with Bryan Munson. We appreciate him in the Husker Football Insight he brings us. Let's talk to Bryan. It's been a couple weeks. Got a little bit to catch up on. We'll call him up. Be back with him after this. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's truck month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Cover more acres with a pre-owned sprayer or planter from Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer. We offer one of the area's largest selections of used sprayers, applicators, planters, and seeders. Through the month of May, take advantage of fixed-rate financing as low as 4.75% for up to 60 months or an 8-month interest waiver. Visit your local Landmark Implement location or visit our complete sprayer and seeding inventory online at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
If you've been putting off your health, what are you waiting for? The Summer 10-Week Challenge at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is exactly what you need to kickstart your wellness. Farrell's gives you all the tools, coaching, support, and accountability you need to be successful. The 10-Week Challenge begins on June 8th, and monthly payments are now available. Head to fxblincoln.com for all the details. Stop taking your health for granted and get started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
There are over 1,000 kids in Cedars care today. We're here to ensure that each of them receives safety and stability they deserve. But we need your help. A gift to Cedars will make an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further with the available matching funds. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincolnday.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln kids today.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
How do people feel about getting big fitness energy at Planet Fitness for $1 down and $10 a month? They feel as thrilled as a kid the first summer they're tall enough to ride the roller coaster! That's right. When you join Planet Fitness right now, you'll get access to tons of equipment and free fitness training in a clean and spacious club. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today for that all-day energy. Download the free Planet Fitness app and join today for $1 down, $10 a month.
Deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com. Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Tito's on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
The end of the school year is drawing near, which means graduation parties are coming soon. Are you prepared for that if you're hosting? Fierce Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate graduations and to close out a great school year. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you throw a party without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No graduation party is complete without it.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block, brought to you by Nebco, nebcoinc.com. Appreciate them for their sponsorship of the show. Appreciate Aloe Fiber for giving us channel 961, as well as our VIP line, Aloe Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Our second time on the VIP line today, once in hour one, now in hour two. We bring in our guys we talk to Mondays at 3:30 here on the show, Bryan Munson of Husker Online. Bryan, just how buzzing is Dallas with the Mavs winning Game 7?
Very. Between them and the Stars, things are really good around it. Now, I mean,
the Rangers?
The Rangers are doing excellent as well. I mean, I tell you what, I mean, it's always comebacks comes back to the Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboys fan. This is like the worst possible market for me to live in from like an NFL perspective. And it's hilarious. Like listening to sports radio down here, like when you're in the car and checking it out, just like how out of touch some of them are. It is hysterical. But I am a New York Knicks fan, and I was really, really, really hoping that they could put something together to where maybe we could, see something with the Mavs and the Knicks later on. But with Brunson getting hurt, just that whole team was just beat up down the stretch, and I don't think anybody really holds much of a chance against the Celtics. I think the Celtics look really good right now.
Munson, who drinks more Kool-Aid, Nebraska fans or Dallas fans?
Before you were even going to get it out, Strick, I was going to say the Cowboys fans are just like, the minute that the season is over, it's like, next year, baby. Like, I swear to you, it is just out of control. But you've been here. Like, you know how bad it is. It's just out of control, dude. Unrealistic expectations year in and year out. And it's an owner issue. I mean, and you know that too. It's an owner issue down here. So it's another Al Davis-like scenario here with the Cowboys.
There was a graphic, I don't remember who posted it. Basically, it was how long has it been since all these teams appeared in their conference finals or semifinals. And, for the Mavericks and for the Stars, it was 0 days. For the Rangers, it was like 200 days. But just because they made it last year, and the Cowboys were up over like 10,500 days since they appeared in the conference semifinals. They got to get over themselves. Like, they're a middle of the road franchise right now, Bryan.
I tell you what, I mean, and and Strick will tell you this too, for people that have not traveled to Dallas and they have not seen it, and I don't know, like Strick, what the last time was you had a chance to see it, but AT&T Stadium, fantastic. It's literally like an engineering marvel of the world. And then if you go and look, and they've moved their operations from Valley Ranch up north to Frisco, like their facility in Frisco, the Star, it's tremendous. I mean, they just held the Country Music Award. What was it? The AACs or ACAs or whatever it was. That was at the Star. I mean, they have got billions and billions wrapped up into their facilities and the Carroll Clinic, which is like world renowned, and Strick knows who they are too, and Dan Cooper and all those guys. Those guys are right next door to the Star now in Frisco. Yep, absolutely. So it is wild how much like their facilities and how everything is kind of put together for them, and to have those types of results like we just talked about. It's a shame, but I mean, in fairness, the 49ers are playing very well right now. They have for years, and it's just every year, man, it's their year, and it starts like March 1st, and it does not stop, and it's just it's over the top. It is over the top.
But hey, Bryan, do the Cowboys have video boards used by NASA like Nebraska does? Didn't think so.
They don't, but they have a suspended scoreboard the size of a 747 over their football field.
Fine, they win. On that front, what do you make of the news that Nebraska is pushing South Stadium renovations off and focusing on East and West first?
I don't know. I don't really know what to make of that. There has to be some bigger common sense there for me. I mean, when I used to get up there a lot more often before I had kids. So let's just put it that way. Before I had kids, the season tickets I would typically buy were from a buddy that were in the north end zone. And staring across to the south, it was always hard to kind of understand, first of all, how they were going to kind of do it. Secondly, what they were waiting on. There's got to be a reason as to what's kind of going on here, but yeah, you're getting kind of into that. That's where the introductory kind of season tickets all take place. You're always over there in the south end zone, and eventually you kind of get paroled out, right? And you get kind of moved around a little bit. But yeah, I hope that it starts to become a little clearer, like how things are going to kind of come together. It's certainly something I think that's long overdue. And obviously it looks like they're going for some scaled down version of the previously announced plans. Let's put it that way. So, and a lot of changes to that otherwise to the east and to the west. So I'll be very interested to see what the long-term goal is here, guys, to be honest with you.
Let's talk on the field here, Bryan, with some recruits. Recently, Dawson Merritt released his top 2. It's Nebraska and it's Alabama. We've talked a bit about him before, but not who his coach would be. Rob Dvorak. What in the first couple years of Rob Dvorak on the road, what's his reputation? What's he become known for?
I think that obviously he's seen as a young, passionate guy who has pro experience. I think that he's really kind of viewed as a guy that knows what he's talking about, that he's aligned with Tony White and with Matt Rule, and I think that there's, possibly some suggestion there that, if Tony White gets that opportunity to go, get a head coaching job, after this season or whenever it is down the line, that Dvorak could be a successor on the coordinator side, on the coordinator position. So that being said, I think that you have to have an understanding about like what's really at stake, the guys that you're kind of looking for, how everything's kind of coming together, as kind of that person just kind of underneath the coordinator position. I think with Merritt, I think what we don't say or don't hear enough is that it's down to the final 2 of Nebraska and Alabama. And, you take a look at Broderick Scholl, and I think it's kind of a race with Nebraska and Auburn. So I think Nebraska is doing a lot of things right now. I think what you have going for you in both of those cases with Scholl and Dawson Merritt is location number 1. I think Merritt is intrigued. I think Merritt is very intrigued about the things that they have going on in Nebraska right now, which is saying something. I mean, obviously it's not Saban's Alabama, but it probably isn't going to fall off that far and that hard from when the days were that Saban was there. I mean, they've done a really good job of continuing to recruit when that was a question, about how they continue to kind of move forward and recruiting being a concern. They have done a fantastic job. They've done a fantastic job with the high school guys. They've done a fantastic job with the portal guys. But for Nebraska to kind of be where they're at and finding a guy like that in their backyard is huge. And Broderick Scholl, with the ties that he has to the agricultural departments, the environmental sciences, and how important it is to him. I think Nebraska is doing just a tremendous job recruiting both those guys and really recruiting a lot of guys. David Sanders too. I mean, from his official visit here recently, the Nebraska, Matt Rule and his staff really drew up a tremendous plan to kind of get, the full attention and all the value out of having him on campus at Mother's Day weekend.
You mentioned Sanders. I was going to skip over, but since you brought him up, how much of him getting to campus was a Nebraska thing? He was interested in that. How much it was maybe the Dylan Raiola factor?
I think a little bit of both. I think obviously, too, there weren't a lot of programs around the country that were hosting official visitors the weekend of Mother's Day. And Nebraska was able to kind of, pull something together there very quickly. And they had some guys already coming in, but I mean, it presented an opportunity that they may not have gotten had it been another weekend, later on in June, just because how busy he is, how coveted he is. And Nebraska was able to get that weekend, because of Mother's Day and just no other real opportunities to kind of get out and see anywhere. So that's where it starts. I think the Raiola thing is huge. I think obviously Matt Rule and his ties back down to the Charlotte area, come into play here a little bit. I think that, I think it's been said a little bit, but we need to probably say it a little bit more. I think Donovan Raiola is kind of this, undervalued, kind of gets skipped over a little bit recruiter. I think he has a particular player in mind, obviously, when he's out there looking for those guys, and it's not the flashy ones. He's looking for something deeper down. Like I think his profile of a recruit, kind of tends towards the guys that are, I don't want to call it subservient, but maybe the guys that understand that they are a spoke in the wheel, and they are not the wheel. And there's something to be said about that when it comes to building the team. And I think Donovan Raiola does a great job of identifying those guys that are team first players. And that always comes in very handy with obviously when we're dealing with putting 5 of those guys out on every single play when you're on offense. So I think that there's some truth to all sides of that with Sanders and why he visited. And I think Nebraska did a fantastic job hosting him a week ago.
So Nebraska not in his top 6. We know last year Nebraska didn't land the commitment from Brandon Baker. but they did get commitments from Grant Brix, obviously, and then Gibson Pyle. Does any of that mindset and approach, tie into maybe why Nebraska got the two they did and didn't get the two they did? Or would Raiola not even have targeted the big names, if he didn't think they had that mentality to begin with?
No, I think that it's a great question. I think with Brix, you have some location, you have some things obviously there being from Western Iowa. Gibson Pyle, however, he picked up his first offer as a sophomore from Stanford. There was a long road. There was a long road basically from where he started out to, whether it was 30 or 30 plus offers that he ended up picking up to the point where he decided to go ahead and commit to Nebraska. I mean, I think what kind of comes down to there a little bit, guys, is honestly it's coming down to some guidance. I've talked to Gibson Pyle's dad a little bit. He is completely and totally on board with what Matt Rule and his staff have got cooking there in Lincoln. I think there's obviously the NIL aspect to it, but I think also there's just this tremendous opportunity when it comes to being an offensive lineman. I think that you're looking now at guys that are coming into the program, last season and them being a factor in almost like year two, where things kind of start to flip over a little bit more on the roster. You get past those super senior guys and you get a little bit further down the list. I think you can really put yourself in a tremendous position right now, in Matt Rule in year number 3 when it comes to being an offensive lineman. So I think there's people that are just seeking that opportunity. And I think Pyle and I think Brix, saw it. And I think obviously Brix had tremendous connections to that whole class, whether it was Kalen or Carter Nelson or, a number of the other players that were recruited and commits in that class. Brix was very connected to all the people that were part of that class.
One more on the offensive line, then a linebacker question for you again, Brian. Gunnar Gatula, Sam Sledge, two guys that Nebraska was able to keep in the state. What are your expectations for them this year? Do you think they're rotational guys? They have a chance to see the field as 2 seasons from now, their year. What's the outlook for Nebraska with those two guys they were able to keep in state?
I mean, those guys were almost, paper thin, close to getting on the field last year. It's really amazing. I mean, Sledge, I think number one, gets overlooked in that whole 2023 class. He's such an early guy into the commitment list, interior guy, kind of gets overlooked a little bit, but really asserted himself, has got that high football IQ. And then I think with Gunnar was kind of the same way. I think it comes down to, again, Coach Raiola and what he's kind of looking for and his guys and maybe there's a little bit more of a chance for him to kind of spread his wings and fly on his guys a little bit since Coach Rule got to town. But Gatula, I think, was very close, again, to kind of have it as they mentioned in some scenarios where who would be the next guy up. I think now he's sitting, pretty solid somewhere in that second, third, possible string at tackle. Again, and a guy that's kind of locked in behind some other players that are 5th year, 6th year guys at tackle. I think he's very, very close to be able to figure into some sort of situational and rotational type of playing time this fall.
The last one then, on the linebacker front, I saw you retweet this from Emmanuel Carmo yesterday, Brian. Committed to Minnesota, says as much in his tweet, proudly committed to the Gophers. He also said, I believe it's important to explore all my options, and I'm sure I'm making the best decision for my future. They'll visit Minnesota again, but Wisconsin first, then Minnesota, Ohio State, and then Nebraska. Do you think Carmo's, just going around to go around? Do you think he's legitimately interested in maybe reopening his commitment, and could Nebraska have a chance with him again?
I think Nebraska's got a good chance here, guys. And you put on his film and you see a super explosive dude. And you see also from his Twitter feed, like he starts talking about like how he really started getting invested in the weight room, what it's done to his body, the changes, the gains that he has shown in muscle mass, in strength. It's really reflective, of him and his film. So yeah, I think he wants to make the rounds to make sure he's making the right decision. But I think it's those types of opportunities right there where Nebraska has the best opportunity to shine, where they can. You've committed to the in-state school. You've done it because you think that you've done it because of the best thing that was possibly out there. Now let's show you what Lincoln has to offer. And let's show you what's going to happen here a little bit. When you come play us, every year, or we play you every year, or 3 out of 4 years, or however the scheduling is going to kind of work there between those two schools. So, I think that's a really interesting one to follow. I think the other one too is that Nebraska offered a 2025 edge today from Galveston Ball High School. So way down in South Texas, Malcolm Simpson, 4-star edge. Coach Knighton was down there today, talking about setting up an official visit in June too. So a couple new names with Emmanuel there and Malcolm. It's about people need to keep looking at those June lists and make sure that they understand who's coming in. I'm sure that we'll have plenty more additions, particularly on the offensive line. I think they're a little light there, in little thin. So look for there to be some additions here over the coming weeks.
Okay, one other name popped up real quick. Raheem Ra Hutchins, OV.
Ra Hutchins. Yes, Pearland, Texas, Shadow Creek High School. He's coming into Nebraska as well. That last weekend in June is turning out to be a huge one. He will be down there that weekend. There's another name here too. I'm just kind of skinning down my list a little bit, so I could find it really fast. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, but there's another wide receiver that's kind of kicking the tires on potentially coming down there that weekend. It's Dylan Alfred. Dylan Alfred is Dante Dowdle's cousin from Mississippi, and he's actually Dylan is actually committed to Ole Miss and was in town in Lincoln for the spring game. And now he told me last night he is considering making it back for an official visit. It'll probably be that last week in June. So stay tuned on him too. There's some dudes. Oh, and Christian Jones is going to start setting up his official visits later this week too. He told me earlier today. So keep yourself informed and be on that visitor list as things kind of go on this week. It's going to get pretty hectic.
Hey, best way to keep yourself informed, listeners, at Bryan Munson _ on Twitter, Husker Online, part of the On3 network. And hey, we'll try to have Bryan on throughout the summer as well with all this popping up. Bryan, glad it worked for us to talk today. Thanks for finding time for us. Have a great rest of your week, man.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bryan joined us on our VIP line, brought to you by Outlook Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. One more segment to go. Text line. You popped off on the NBA. Wait on YouTube. We see ya. We'll run that stuff by Stricky to wrap up the show next.
RC's Boxing Production is proud to present the new prospects at the Complex. Come enjoy a show of Lincoln's best professional and amateur boxers on Saturday, May 25th at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com. You won't want to miss this event. It's the new prospects at the Complex on Saturday, May 25th at 1555 Yolanda Avenue, right off of Cornhusker Highway.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's truck month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
By now, most of you know how important the Honda of Lincoln sales and service team are to the Lincoln market. Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear from Honda of Lincoln to tell you about the great news they just received. Andy, please tell us all about it.
Each year, the Lincoln Journal-Star has an award program called the Lincoln Choice Award, where the customers in Lincoln get to choose the best places to do business. Great pleasure I get to announce that Honda of Lincoln has won the award for buying new cars, used cars, automotive repair, and even oil changes.
That is amazing, Andy. Any more good news?
Yes, there is, Charlie. We now have more than 100 new Hondas in stock, with hundreds on the way, and a huge selection of all makes and models on our pre-owned lot.
Incredible. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Play ball! Summertime is here, and so is another action-packed baseball season with the Lincoln Salt Dogs. Bring your whole crew to Haymarket Park to experience the magic under the lights and the thrill of the game. Enjoy daily specials like Wiener Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, and Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts. Don't miss out on the excitement. Strike three, you're out! Visit saltdogs.com to see this week's promotions and secure your tickets to unleash the fun.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years, and they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
How do people feel about getting big fitness energy at Planet Fitness for $1 down and $10 a month? They feel as thrilled as a kid the first summer they're tall enough to ride the roller coaster! That's right. When you join Planet Fitness right now, you'll get access to tons of equipment and free fitness training in a clean and spacious club. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today for that all-day energy. Download the free Planet Fitness app and join today for $1 down, $10 a month.
Deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
The best time to have your air conditioner serviced is before you really need it. Call Bryant now and schedule your spring air conditioning service check. No matter what brand equipment you have, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean, inspect, and test to make sure it's ready to cool efficiently when hot weather hits. You'll stay cool and comfortable when you need it most. Just call 467-1111 to schedule your air conditioning check. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up on the block here. Text line, appreciate you guys. We will get to you in a moment. Let's start on the YouTube stream. Wade says, Wade, of course, Strick, our resident Nuggets fan.
Yeah.
On the YouTube stream.
He's not happy.
Says Minnesota's defense is going to shut Dallas down. Also, Nuggets. 20-point collapse at home with the best player on the planet. That's not a good look, Stricky.
It's shaky.
Shaky.
It's real shaky. No, it's not. But it's gonna. I actually like this matchup, and I think as long as each person does what they're supposed to do with some form of consistency, it's gonna be a good series.
Claytonia John Strick, who is your favorite NBA coach to play for?
Oh, I would say Don Nelson, and that was because Don was freaking a mad scientist, man. Like he would just do the craziest things. Like who would think of this, right? Like real talk. Like you see teams trying to do different things as far as matchups. You saw it with Denver, trying to do it with Gobert. But Don Nelson would literally say, Strick, you're guarding Tim Duncan. And like he would weigh out the game. He would see in the beginning of the game, and he would be like, okay, Sean Bradley, I need him. He's giving me good challenges at the rim. But he's shaky. But between him and David Robb, he couldn't stay in front of David's running ability. And then AC Green could handle Tim, but really couldn't, because when AC would get taken off the block, he would be quick enough to jab him off and hit that bank shot that he. So,
an 18-foot bank shot. We don't talk enough about how ridiculous
that was.
Like, just shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Why are we banking it, Timmy?
Yeah, that was just his thing. But the fact that he would put me on him and say, okay, Strick, you got him. Like, that was the game plan second half. Like, you're going to get him because he's thinking about what I can do leverage-wise, keeping him off. Okay, you want to shoot that shot, you're going to shoot it now with a guy that's into you as opposed. But if you put it down, so now you're going to try to get into the post. But I'm strong enough to keep you far enough away.
Quick enough to poke, all that stuff.
Yeah. So it ended up working out. But if it works out on the defensive side, and this is how playoff basketball is going to go, this is some of the things that they're going to try to figure out. This is why Naz Reid ended up being an important piece. If it works out that your strategy can get you possessions, get you enough rebounds, you don't get overwhelmed in the areas and where there would be a deficiency, which is getting killed in the post, having to over double team. We didn't. I kept telling him, do not come double team. I've got him, Now, I can't stop Tim Duncan, but I could do enough to just, you just want 4 possessions, right? You need, like, if you're down, and we weren't down like 20 plus, but we're down enough to where if you can get stops and turn those over into those possessions into something favorable on our side, you got yourself something going. And that's all we wanted to do, because guess who you got? They're gonna have to figure out how they're gonna guard us now.
Right.
If we can get the stops, they got to figure. That's all playoff basketball is about. It's about creating mismatches. It's about figuring out. And this is why I think it was so disappointing with the way our coach went to favoritism, because he played at Kentucky when I was at Kentucky. No, what freaking got us to this point? Jason Kidd needs Stricky on him, not Tony Delk. You know what I'm saying?
Poor Tony.
Like
he got cooked.
Yeah, man, it wasn't a good look. I mean, it was unfortunate, but that's just how it is. So that's what you got to figure out.
Phil, how long will the refs be able to hold out with all of Lucas crying and whining after every play?
Is it just Luka though? That's the part that is wild to me, because I think it's everybody. I think it's everywhere. Every time someone goes to the basket, it's and it's not just him.
Well, to be fair, Luka was getting trucked without a lot of calls in game 6 and 7.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that. I mean, but then there's times when Cat was driving to the basket and Joker would literally hit him with the body block, and I'm like, wait a minute, like y'all been calling this now? Is this what we gonna let go? I mean, cool if we gonna, but figure it out. Like,
right.
That's what I think is frustrating with coaches.
We're back. We made it, Stricky.
Yeah.
81 degrees, but it's
here.
even hotter on the block, right?
You're out of here. The block is hot. The block is hot. It's hot. We back on, baby, and it's hot outside, literally.
You gonna be hot tomorrow for shootout?
Yeah, I'm trying to get this dub sack. I'm tired of taking these L's. I can't do it.
2:45 tomorrow.
Let's get it.
Geared up.
Let's get it.
Been a good show. Appreciate Coach Laura Bird Kuhn of the Supernovas for joining us in hour 1. Bryan Munson of Husker Online in hour number 2.
Bryan Munson, shaky.
Nah, never. Bryan has never been shaky once in his life. We appreciate them for joining us. We appreciate you for sticking around. We appreciate Nebco, Starter Heyman Jewelers, Cedars. Hey, we'll be out there on the 30th for Gift to Lincoln Day. Come join us out there. Don't go anywhere. Old school. Jay Foreman out there right now. I'll be joining him. We're at the Complex, 15th and Cornhusker. Come see us. Talk to you in a bit.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfillment